So you're a first year teacher and you're wondering how on earth are you going to make it through the school year? It is craziness. It's madness. I get it. This video is to give you some advice and tips on how to survive your first year of teaching. Even though that first year is the most exciting, it is also the hardest year of teaching. So let's go ahead and get started. Tip number one is to remember to breathe, okay? It is okay for you to not know everything. It's actually, as a matter of fact, it's impossible for you to know everything because you just graduated from college, so you're not expected to know everything. You're gonna learn as you go, and you're gonna build upon that foundation as the years progress. But don't beat yourself up if you don't know something or if you mess up. It's bound to happen. You have no experience. You're building from scratch, and that is perfectly okay. So give yourself some TLC and let yourself mess up, because that's just part of learning and part of the process. So I would suggest is for you to pick one particular subject, whether it's science, social studies, writing, whatever subject it is, and get really good at that subject, before you move on to the next subject. But don't try to go in there and tackle all the subjects all at once, because it's going to be really overwhelming. We're not going to do that, okay? Pick one subject, master it, and then move on to the next. Tip number two is to get organized. Now, I don't know if you were organized back in the day, back in college, elementary school, middle school, but you need to be organized as a teacher. You're gonna have so much all at once. So you need to find some system that works for you in order for you to be organized, because otherwise, you're not gonna meet your deadlines. You're gonna have so much, trust me. What I did was I had a planner, and I would just write down every 2 weeks what I had to get done. I'm a really visual person, so if I visually see it, I'll get it done. If I don't write it down, well, I'm probably not going to get it done. So find whatever organization system works for you and stick with it. But the point is, you have to be organized. Tip number three is to get to know your students. This is so critical for all students, or for all teachers, not just first year teachers, but all teachers, because it's also going to help you with your classroom management. A lot of new teachers do not have a good classroom management system down. But, when you have that relationship with your students, you build that trust, you build that bond, your students are going to begin to trust you and want to work really hard for you. So you need to have that relationship with your students. So important. All right, tip number four is to use your time effectively. During planning, you get 45 minutes. Please do not sit there and waste your time on social media. Use that time effectively. Grade papers, work on lesson plans for the upcoming week, make copies, do something productive, okay? Don't just sit there and waste time, because you're gonna have to make up that time after work if you waste time during planning time. And I don't want you to have to stay after school till 6:30, 7:30 at night. You want to have a good work-life balance. All right, tip number five is to plan ahead. Do not think you're just going to roll up to school that morning, wing your lesson, and everything is going to go great, because it's going to be the total opposite of what you think is going to happen. You got to set aside some time, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever X amount of time you want to set aside, but to really think about how you want to execute your lesson to your students in a way that they're going to understand the concept. All right, guys, so overall, the first year of teaching is always the hardest, but you can do it. I believe in you. If you have to take it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, then do whatever you have to do to get through that first year. It is brutal. I totally get it. But, each and every year will get better, because you will get better